Hey everyone, just wanted to go over, I've got the Kyber finger throttle guard and the heated brake lever installed here on a 25 Matryx. And I intended to do a full installation video, but of course, forgot to do that. Just got too anxious ahead of myself and installed it. It was really not too bad. I've installed the Munster finger throttles before. Same exact process, pretty much. Just a few minor differences. But if you've done that before, it should be no problem. The whole thing took me probably less than an hour start to finish. But wanted to kind of go over some unique things about the Kyber system here as opposed to the Munster, kind of give you my thoughts on it after having it installed now. So, all right, so I guess first things off, just to point out, so I'll start here. When you install, I feel like the Kyber system, I don't know if you can get a tell here, but it feels a little bit more heavy duty than the Munster. I think it's just built a little bit more industrious, and I do like that. I think that's going to be cool. So it has these, I'm just going to point to kind of things with this little pick tool, but so it has these little plastic inserts around inside the bar, whereas the Munster bolts metal onto metal on the handlebar. And I think it says to back off the bolts a little bit after you tighten them. I'm gonna have it pretty tight. I definitely don't want my throttle block to be moving really at all. I mean, I get it in the case that you have a heavy landing or something that maybe it goes down a little bit, but I really don't want it to move at all. So I'm not sure about the plastic on metal here. We'll see how that works, but I hope it's gonna fit pretty tight. Now on the Kyber, what I really liked about this and why I really chose this one over the Munster is the adjustability of this lever. So if you can see here, there's a little Allen screw, and you tighten that or loosen that. I think it's counterintuitive the way you do it to tighten and loosen it, but it's cool because then this part goes either further out or closer into the handlebar. I really like that. I have it pretty tight towards the handlebar because I don't have big hands. I'm a smaller guy, and I definitely don't want a whole lot of room between the grip and the lever. I don't have it all the way, certainly, but it's, I would say 75% probably of the way in there, and I might even do it a little bit more as I get used to it. It's definitely more than, because I have the brake lever installed. The brake lever fits pretty tight, pretty close to the handlebar is, so it's definitely a little bit farther out than that anyway. But I think that's really cool. I think that's the main thing about the Kyber finger throttle that people are gonna like. And you can, let's get this wire out of the way, you can, at full throttle, right there, you can see it's not all the way to the grip, which on the Munster, you tighten it all the way until it touches the grip, and then you back off like just a tiny bit. But I do like this because, you know, if you have the lever all the way to the handlebar at full throttle, where does your finger go? And I kind of got used to moving my middle finger out on the grip a little bit at full throttle to compensate for that. I don't think you're gonna have to do that as much on the Kyber version, which is totally cool. I think I'm gonna like that. Okay, so also they have the heater block that you install inside of the lever, and it looks really cool. It's got the little Kyber logo there, and it has a little insert tab here, so it slides into the lever with a little tab and then screws in right here. Also, it says don't over tighten things, just get them snug, nice and snug. Don't over tighten anything, because I feel like a lot can go wrong with these little tiny bolts. But that does fit in there nice, perfectly. It looks really cool. I think it's gonna be awesome. It came with some thermal paste to put in there if you wanted. It said for a little bit hotter, you could put some thermal paste in there before, like with a Q-tip, to make it possibly be hotter. But I talked to the guy at Kyber yesterday and asked him about that. He said he recommended go ahead and trying it without the paste. In fact, he said they're not even gonna start using the paste anymore, but he said try it without the paste, see if it's not hot enough, and it should be plenty hot, then maybe try putting the paste in. So I did not put any paste in there. I simply just put the metal block in there, so it's metal on metal. So I'm gonna try that. And then it does have the guard, which I think is a must. It's nice and sturdy. It goes on with 2 bolts here to secure it to the throttle block, and then 2 bolts under here to it's 2 pieces. So I got red. I think that looks really cool. Sled's red. And also, you know, don't tighten these super tight. Just, you know, they come with Loctite, so just nice and tight, and that should do it. Now, this is also adjustable. The guard is also adjustable. Comes out further or closer to your lever, whichever you prefer. I have it as far out as it possibly goes, and I wouldn't want it any closer to the lever. I definitely want some room right there so I don't break my hand, break my fingers off. I feel like the Munster guard does sit out a little bit further, even than this at fully extended, but this is fine. I mean, it's especially if I move this lever in a little bit more, it'll give a little bit room, but it's enough room. I would just say it's definitely, I would not move it in at all. I would leave it at full length. So just FYI. Now, on the free play, it says to give 3 millimeters at least of free play. So I'm about 1 millimeter probably from the rubber boot, and I was just about 3 millimeters exactly from just like a soft push against it all the way. I feel like that's plenty. I'm not gonna want any more play than that. I think that feels really good right there. Just FYI. Now, it also says, I was having trouble with the directions, it says to run the heater grip over the underside of the throttle block. And I don't think I really realized what that meant until just a bit ago, but I think it wants you to run this through here, which there's no way to do that unless you disconnect the heater from the connection and then run it through, which I'm probably going to do. I think they think a lot of people are gonna run the Kyber grips, and so they'll need to install new heaters anyway, so they do that at that time. I didn't. I'm leaving the stock grips on with the stock handlebars because I decided I like that. So yeah, I think I'm gonna pull that plug and try and run it through that. I hope that's what they mean by over the under part. So I think that's about it. The only other thing that I'd say is it's super, super cool. Obviously, a very innovative brand. And then I have the same thing here with the brake lever, and same thing here with the lever heater kit. Goes in the exact same thing. In fact, it's the same product. So one in each, and then I'll run them down. I just need the hogtail. Forgot to order that, so I'll plug that in. Plug each heater into the hogtail, and should be good to go. I'm going to. This is the on-off switch for the lever heaters. You can mount them kind of somewhere along there or drill holes in your console. I'm not going to. Once I route it over there, I'm gonna find a way to just zip tie those up there. They'll probably both be on that side, so I'll probably not know exactly which is which at the time. We'll see, or maybe I can label them, but so that they're easily accessible from the opening up the side panel. So that'll be fine. Let me know if you have any questions. I just did want to do a video kind of going over it, give you a good look at these new for this year Kyber finger throttles. Pretty cool. Highly recommend. I'm excited to try this versus the Monster. It's very cool. We have a lot of different brands kind of innovating the market here. Let me know if you have any questions, because like I said, I just did it. Not difficult at all. You do have to adjust, if you've never done it before, you adjust the throttle cable tension with this black boot right here. Pull it up and there's a little lock nut, and then you just twist it back and forth to loosen it and tighten it to give you your free play here. So let me know what you think. Currently waiting on snow here in Idaho. Should be coming this week. Yeah, off to a rough start, but can't wait to get this thing out.